Exiled or are just getting started, we've got you covered. And here's what you can expect. We'll bring you 2 shows a week, starting on a Monday with our Courtyard Club call, dropping at 1 PM. Opinions while we're at the match, tactical breakdowns, player insights and more. On Wednesdays, it's our live 8 PM show on YouTube. Lively discussions, opposition previews and exclusive fan guests. We've got Patreon specials. Become a member of our Patreon subscription for £3 a month and you can unlock exclusive content. Members get access to special guest episodes, ad-free shows and monthly giveaways. Not forgetting, we've been at this since 2015 and are the original County Fans podcast. Find us on your favourite platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify and wherever else you can get your podcasts. Go to scarfbagarawar.co.uk to find out more. And subscribe now to never miss any content. Remember, it's for County fans, by County fans.
Somebody in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick of Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty!
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away! Yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Armstrong played in the game and a superb goal.
Tony did it. Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Scarf Bagara War with me, Russ Johnson. I am delighted, overwhelmed, over the moon, and everything you can think of to have my friend and good pal back. Waggie, how are you, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm fully rehabilitated. 3 weeks locked up in TSBW Towers in Chokey, and then a week of rehabilitation, tree hugging in Wales. And I'll tell you now, I promise, Russ, I will never ask another question.
That's what you get for asking questions and trying to take my job. That's what you get.
Do it again.
I thought I'd make you feel at home. For the audio listeners, you can't see this, but my background is an oil rig because I'm having some work done in the bar, so I didn't want to. I thought I'd just put a background on just so nobody can see that. But yes, delighted to have you back. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Waggie's rants.
I might have one or two. You've been building up for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't save him.
The first one is I need to pull you up health and safety. You've got no safety helmet on. You've not got flame retardant overalls. There's no safety glasses, hearing protection, and I bet you've not got safety boots on. So you'd be on the next chopper straight back off that oil rig.
But yeah, we probably won't even get on it. Tell us very quickly. Tell us who you had on your oil rig with you.
I had a guy called Shay Logan, and if anybody remembers, he was on loan playing for us from Manchester City in the 2007-2008 season. He played eight games for us in the build-up to the playoff final. Excuse me. And then, as he told me himself, he got pulled back from his loan spell, so he never got to play at Wembley for us. I think he got pulled back and got put on the bench for City in their last game or last couple of games. So, he went on from, obviously played, I think he went down to Bournemouth or Brentford, I can't remember which one of them. And then he was up in Aberdeen, played for Aberdeen for over 250
for a long time.
times. Yeah. Decent. He was, I strangely enough, you know what my memory's like with ex-players or trying to guess players and stuff like that. As soon as he said his name, I was like, I actually remember you, even though he only played 8 games for us. It's just that's a weird one, that, isn't it? But yeah, no, he was a top lad. It was a good lad. I had a good laugh with him. Obviously, as soon as he knew I was a County fan, it was just took the piss out of me all the time. So...
Did he? Fair news. Right then, well,
on the rig, everybody on the rig. So there's 140 people on the rig. Every single one of them knew I was a Stockport County fan.
By the end,
because he just kept telling everybody, "That's it. That's him. That's the County fan. That's the one."
He used to pay to watch me play. Good stuff. Right, I'll tell you what, let's get on to the agenda and then we'll get our guests out. We've got a packed show tonight. We've got loads to squeeze in. So we're going to get straight back to business. We've got Charlton on Saturday. We're going to get our oppo preview guest out, Mark from Charlton Live, very, very soon, with a county connection as well. We've learned in the past 10 minutes. We're going to talk about the FA Cup draw, and we're going to get audible live reaction to the FA Cup draw live on this podcast. We'll talk about Thomas Tuchel. We'll briefly talk about the Betty Betts Bet game. I think I've said that right. But also, we've got our fan guest, Lee Rowley, or Big Rolo, as we like to call him. And loads of you will know him. You'll definitely know him from what he carries around, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. So without further ado, let's get our fan guest out. It's Lee Rowley.
Gleeson! It's a cracker! Stephen Gleeson! What a beauty!
Hey,
how are we doing?
All right, how are you?
Oh, all good. Looking forward to the weekend.
Good stuff. Yeah, so you just stick around, obviously. Get involved. We'll come to you later and talk about you specifically and your cardboard things. Because for the audio listeners, there is a cardboard cutout sat behind Lee. Anyway, we'll discuss all that later. But without further ado, let's get Mark out from Charlton Live. Hello, Mark.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Yes, sir. Looking forward to the weekend, like I think you chaps are. I think you have a weekend without football, and you're sort of like, oh, because I don't call what England did football. So go back to the proper stuff.
Yeah, let's not get into the whole England debate. We'll talk about that later. When
we'll let you off that one. We'll have our rant about that.
We'll subject you to that. First things first, then let's talk about Charlton on Saturday. Obviously, we played you a couple of years ago in the FA Cup, 2-2 draw at your place, and a win at ours. I think you were in a bit of turmoil then. How are things these days at Charlton, and what are you seeing? Where are you? How are you feeling this season's gonna pan out for you?
Well, it's a lot more settled for a start. The owners aren't changing every 2 weeks. The manager isn't changing every 3 weeks. Jones has come in. Nathan Jones has come in, and he's steadied the team, which is what it needed. He's got out of a bit of a deadwood, and he's got them play into a certain style, which suits us well at the start of the season. We got a bit found out for a few games, but it's sort of like so different from last season. Last season, it was buffet defending from us. It was help yourself to goals, boys, wherever it was, whoever we played. We just weren't a 90-minute team. Now we're a 100-minute team. It's got it drilled into them that, look, with all the extra time referees are playing now, you're going to have to go for 100 minutes. And the second half of the second half, we've been immensely strong. So it's very positive, but still with a cautious optimism, and sometimes that bit of pessimism, which I think all League One, League Two fans have about their clubs.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's been a bit up and down for you, because you had 3 defeats before you went and beat the biggest of big spenders, Birmingham, last time out. So what's gone on there? Were the 3 defeats well deserved? I mean, in those 3, you've got Stevenage in there, which I'm not saying they're going to be the whipping boys, the mid-table now, but you'd expect to beat them, wouldn't you? What's changed?
Well, you'd say that, but all those 3 games, it's been our Achilles heel since the start of the season. We have won games. We beat Bolton and looked really good there. And Birmingham, slightly different. We'll talk about that. But he was saying with a set formation, and we were found out we don't have any creativity in midfield. And so if you've got a creative midfielder who can get the ball and spray it around, that does for us. And our defence can only hold for so long. The forwards, he's chopped and changed and different style of playing. And I don't think we've had sort of like 3 games in a run with the same 2 up front. So you need that kind of like teamwork understanding. And I think the Stevenage game, and he said he's never won at Stevenage, which was very nice of him. And we played such an odd kind of like formation. And for players, he hoiked one after 35 minutes because no one knew what they were doing. So they weren't really surprises to us, who had been watching since the start of the season, because we'd gone on our show and said, well, look, we'll take the win. It's not been pretty, but you take that, sooner or later we'll be found out. And like I say, and then Birmingham rocked up and they expected us to bend over, and we didn't. We took it to them. They didn't have a single shot on target. They took their £15 million striker off. They took, and their manager came out and said, "Oh, Charlton have spent loads of money." And I think his tongue was possibly in his cheek because that's what they'd been getting. But we deserved it, and their fans were very magnanimous afterwards and said, we deserve nothing out of that game. So
did you change your formation round them for that game, or
we did? Yeah, we played a diamond.
Right. Okay.
We played a diamond, and with Birmingham's 2 creative midfielders, we went man for man on them. And so they had no time. And of course, they took Alfie May off us in the summer. And I've got no qualms about Alfie leaving. He did a great job for us last season. He was top league scorer, put him in for fun. Birmingham offered him 4 times his money. And he went, and it's closer to where his family lives. His family are further up north. And, it's better for him. So we've replaced him with Matty Godden. And he's come in and he's been steady. I think he's got 4 goals this season. But he looks, if you give him some space, he'll punish it. But that's what you expect from an experienced striker like that. But we played a diamond. So as to how we're going to turn up against you guys, I don't know, because from the outside, it looks like you've been playing some really good attacking football, scoring goals, and aren't going to come to the Valley and sit back and let us have possession, which will probably suit us more because we have a couple of real speed demons who can, if we get the right ball out, can punish you behind. But the way you're attacking, I think it's going to be a good end-to-end game on Saturday.
Yeah. Who are the players to watch then? Just looking at some of your stats and things, you've got Matt Gooden. Obviously, has got he's your top scorer with 3. Connor Coventry seems to be playing well. Who are we looking out for on Saturday as to be the ones that can do us some damage?
Yeah, Matt Godden, because he plays on the shoulder, so he'll look for space between your 2 centre halves. It depends who plays up front with him. We've been playing Gassam Hadmi, and after 8-9 games, we're still not convinced by him. He's energetic because he's enthusiastic, but he's scored 1 goal from about an inch. So, and we tend to, if he plays, we tend to be a bit one-dimensional and try and knock it to him a bit more. Therese Campbell had a great pre-season and has started as a winger, but he's been playing in the 10 role. He's looked forward to it. Lieben's just come back from injury. He was out for us for 8 months last year, and he was a great miss. If he's had a couple of weeks to get himself fit, he's going to be really hungry. And then at the back, Lloyd Jones has been, in most League One team of the weeks since we've started, and it's down to him because he another one who's come back this season and really put in a shift, and he's changed a lot of fans' opinions of him. So.
Nice, yeah. I mean, Lloyd Jones is appearing on lots of top of the little trees of the FOTMOB rankings on clearances per 90, blocks per 90, interceptions per 90. So yeah, he looks like one that we're gonna have to, if we're gonna do well on Saturday, we're gonna have to get past him, aren't we? Pretty much. What do you think about County? Are you optimistic about our visit on Saturday as a fan base? Are you thinking you just off the back of Birmingham? it's a nice one to have, or what you're thinking about us as we approach Saturday?
Well, I think if it'd been the week after Birmingham, I think the confidence would have been up high. But obviously, we had that. We've had players away on internationals, so they've had 2 weeks to work on it. I couldn't tell you which way we're going to play, whether you'll revert back to a 5 or you'll play the diamond because it works so well against. Obviously he's watched you more than I have, and you see how it looks like you're attacking from all over, from the goals I've seen you've scored, and it's hard to say. I mean, I remember playing county, and I remember you beating us. And I remember us beating you. It's never one of those ones where you've got someone come in and you're going, "Oh, we never get anything." But it's also one of the ways, the way you're playing, you're above us in the table, and the way you're playing, like I say, it might suit us more than you, as it were. I mean, I think if your manager tells you to sit back, I don't think that's your natural game. And like I say, we don't have any creativity. We've got very hard work in midfield. And like I say, Coventry's been good. Doherty for skipper scored an absolute blinder against Bolton, absolutely corking. But it's hard to know what else he does. And it sounds funny because I'm a bit old school because of my age. I like a 4-4-2. And I know no one in football likes that anymore. No one likes that. But when we were successful, when we won the old League One, we had 2 strikers up front. We played with 2 fast wingers, and you let your defence do. But now, it's everyone's got to play for the back. Everyone's got to do the high press. And it's like we're reinventing the wheel sometimes. And I just like, it's funny. I loved being in the Premiership. Do I want to be there again? Not really. It's like a goldfish bowl. Proper football to me. It's 3:00 on a Saturday afternoon. No roof on a stand. You're getting wet, whatever. Your bubbles dripping. Your pie's floating off, and you're there, but you're enjoying it. And for me, that's what football is. I mean, like I say, it's goldfish bowl in the Premiership, even to some extent in the Championship. Someone coughs in the Premiership, and it's talking about it for 20 minutes on Sky News. Whereas we in the lower leagues, don't get. You last season didn't get the credit you deserved because everyone was blowing smoke up Wrexham's bum. And to me, it's just you see that, and we've got Wrexham in a couple of weeks, and
we haven't got a Wrexham alarm there. That's what a Wrexham klaxon's just gone off.
Yeah, sorry,
we're going up across the border,
and they're going. Oh, Wrexham are coming to town, and I'm thinking, and I think put on the list of things I don't care about. I think Wrexham would be coming to us at the top. It's so you get a bit sick of that. And like I say, you guys never got the credit last season, which I think you deserved for the stuff you played and getting the promotion you did, and you've carried it on the start of the season. So hats off to you guys, totally.
Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about your little Stockport County connection, then, briefly.
Yeah, I don't know if you're proper fans, so you may never have worn another club shirt, even in jest. Your big rivals. If someone gave me a Crystal Palace shirt and said, "Go and put this on," I'd be cleaning my car with it. So I'm not going to do that. I've never worn. I've said another English club's football shirt. I've got a German football shirt from when I was in Germany, lovely. But I've never worn another English clubs until 1992. I was working in a hotel with a chef from Stockport, and of course you got to the final, believe the League Cup, where you played Stoke. And he said to me, "Do you fancy going?" And I said, "Yeah, I fancy going." And he said, "Here you go, stick this on," and gave me this lovely Stockport shirt. So the 2 of us jumped on the and we were quite outnumbered by Stoke fans, but didn't care.
Always,
had the day out, as it were. Didn't win, but. So it's Stockport is funny enough. It's one of those teams where you look over the years, and we've been in different divisions for so long, and it's nice sometimes when people come back and you go, "Oh yeah, I remember games against Stockport," and every time it turns up, I always think to myself, "Yeah, that's the connection I have with Stockport. That I've worn your shirt, a proper match, cheered for you." So
nice.
I mean, it was not 92, so we are talking years ago, but.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So if we'd have won, I'd have been shipping a shirt down to you for this weekend.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, because I did look at the car earlier, funny enough. So.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's that's my with Stockport, and it's nothing but respect for you guys. I think it's sometimes, and I put us in this bracket, smaller clubs, because we're not on the TV every 2 minutes. Like I say, I think get the klaxon ready. The last game of that team, which began was W, where they showed Tom Brady and David Beckham more than they showed the game of football. You're thinking, no, I want to see a blood and guts, a few yellow cards, both of us complaining about the referee, and to be honest, the way you've been playing, the way we've been playing with consistency, if we take a 2-2, I actually wouldn't mind that. I think you look at it and that's something to build on before the next lot come in. So I would never be as arrogant to come on another club's pod and say, oh yeah, we're the big boys in London. No, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. We're in League One. It's a lovely stadium. I hope you enjoy it. If you've never been, it's a nice stadium. And I thoroughly recommend a pub nearby called The River, which, if you like your ale, does some proper ale. But so looking forward to it.
Nice. Would you also recommend the Royal Oak, the Anchor and Hope, and the Bugle Horn?
Not the Oak. The Oak is chocker on a Saturday, and you won't get in really. It's not really kind of like home fans only, because it used to be the Anti-Gallagher, which was the pub on the corner. The Bugle's okay, a bit up the road. So, and to be honest, any pub you go into, the Rose of Denmark is actually quite close to the ground. You're going to find it full of Charlton, but you're not going to find it full of Larry Charlton who will take offence to you being there. So, but like I say, the River it's about 20 minutes walk, and it's proper ales and cask ales and guest ales. So if you like your beers, that's where we generally send people. So, and
nice.
And you'll be welcomed in there as well for away fans.
Said the magic word beer.
Yeah, that's all we need to hear. That's all we need to hear. Look, I've got to push you. Got a prediction on Saturday then. What are you going to go for? We ask every away oppo preview.
I'm going for the Desmond. I really am. I think it's going to be 2-2 because we score and we score late. So don't expect us to fly out for traps and score early. If you're 2-0 up at half time, I wouldn't feel confident about taking 3 points home because we've been a second half team. And Jones, if he's ripped into them at half time, you will see a different side come out. And we've got Super Chuck Taniki off a bench who's got an outstanding record for coming on as a sub and scoring. I think it's not really been bettered if you look at his stats. He's got if he comes on, but he can only do 25, 30 minutes because of his hammies. But he's a different proposition. So you'll get softened up and then Chucks will come on and then you don't know what hits you, this kind of thing. So I'll take a 2-2 and I think that'd be a fair result.
Fair dues. Sounds good. Sounds like an exciting match, actually. So, yeah, good stuff. Right, Mark, we will let you go and get your tea. It's probably, is it, what do you call it down there? Dinner, isn't it? Sorry, in London.
Oh, no, we've had that. I've got to put 2 little boys to bed. So,
oh, right, fair enough.
They're currently wrecking the house upstairs at the moment. So that's why I've got the headphones on. So I can't hear.
I was going to say, yeah, 20 minutes unsupervised. There could be anything.
Okay, gents, have a good time Saturday.
Cheers.
Yeah,
cheers, mate. Speak to you soon. Thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
There we go. That was the look ahead to Charlton. I mean, let's carry on the conversation about Charlton on Saturday. What we thinking, Lee? What you thinking? I know you're not going, are you? Are you nervous about Saturday with it being Charlton away? Or are you confident, or what's going on?
I mean, we play really well away from home, don't we? You know, it's I think we're set up to play away from home. If you offered me a point now, I'd snap your hand off and say, yeah, let's take a point, move on to Tuesday night and take 3 points, so and get it to 2. But I think, yeah, it's a funny one that because we're more than capable of beating anyone in this league. I think I'm not sure we've got out of second gear too often yet, so I think there's a lot more to come for us. And this could be the sort of game, the sort of environment for us to go there and put a marker down. But it's going to be tough. They're a good side. They've got a good manager, and it's not going to be easy. But I'd take a point now.
Yeah. What about you, Waggie? What are you thinking?
Obviously, I think we're going to win 2-1. I just think, I mean, certainly if you'd have looked at it before the Birmingham result, I'd have definitely said we can go down there and get some points. Unfortunately, being offshore with shit Wi-Fi, that's another story. I've not been able to watch or listen to many of the games and stuff. Or sorry, I've listened to the first 10 minutes of each game for 90 minutes because it just kept looping back. So, and it'd take me 3 or 4 minutes before I realised that I was listening to what John Kieran had said already. So I've not, apart from the Barnsley game, which is obviously on Sky, and I commandeered the TV in the rec room so everybody was a Stockport fan that night watching us against Barnsley. I was obviously the loudest, jumping up and down, ranting and raving. So they all thought I was an absolute loony. But yeah, I think, as you say, we can go down there and do a job. I think the things that he said, they sort of, again, they play into our hands. You know what I mean? I think the better the team that want to play against us, the better we show, the better we are. If they want to be like Wigan and just sit in and defend and not really offer much going forward, I think that's where we start struggling a bit. But I think if they want to, you know, they're at home, they're on the front foot, they've just beat, 2 weeks ago, they beat Birmingham. I think that they're gonna come at us, and I think that plays into our hands. I think, we've got players that have been rested. We've got a lot of players that have rested. We've got players that have come back from injury. I still don't think Charlie knows what his best 11 is. But I think if we're 2-0 up at half time, contrary to what he said, I think we're exactly the same. We're a much stronger team in the second half. And if we've got people like, Fevs, Diamond, Barry, whoever it is that's not playing, that is on the bench, we've got so many options to come off the bench to actually make a difference to the game. So, I'm going for at least a 2-1. So
nice. You sound really excited just to be able to listen to a full match or take it in.
Oh, I can't wait. That's why I was so gutted, because I was back on Friday night and then it was like no game on Saturday. So I was like, I was just stood in the corner staring at a wall for a bit.
Sat there with the radio on the big going, I can't hear. Come on.
Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, so apart from the Barnsley game, I've not really listened or seen anything. While, I've just seen just about caught highlights and stuff like that. So
it sounds awful, though. It sounds like you're in some sort of like dystopian world where everything's metal around you. You've got nothing beyond that apart from the sea, and you just got this 10-minute loop of the match going on, like you're in some sort of hell.
Living through it every minute.
Yeah.
Sensory deprivation listening to John Kieran for 10 minutes. On a loop.
Oh,
bloody hell.
Very good. So I'll put my
yeah. So I mean, back to Charlton. Just looking at the league, I mean, they are on the same points as us. Yeah, we're slightly above them, as Mark alluded to, but we've got a game in hand. Our goal difference is better. What strikes me about them is, and I said it to Mark, they lost the last 3 before Birmingham, and it was Blackpool, Stevenage, and Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers, I mean, they weren't great when they came to us. Blackpool weren't, but they've turned a bit of a corner now, so you can kind of justify that. Stevenage, I don't really think you know what you get each day, do you? Yeah, Blackpool have been great since Steve Bruce, but I don't know, Lee. What if I had to push you for a sort of a result, and everybody who's in the chat, if you want to get yours in as well, and we'll read some out. Let's get the results out early, or the predictions. What are you going to go for?
I think if we're going to win, I think it's going to be 1-0. So I'm going to go for 1-0 because I always follow the heart above the head. If I was to go with my head, I'd say 1-0. But I'm going to, sit on the fence and go 1-0. Maybe 1-0.
Nice.
Nice and
cool. Yeah, they're coming through now. Just to point out as well, at last week's show, or the week before last, we were talking about the Wigan match that was coming up, and we were all talking about it's going to be 3-1, it's going to be 2-2, blah, 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 blah. Chris Crowther came in on the comments and went 0-0. So, because something's pretty much got to give. They don't concede. We've scored in the past 22 matches or something. Yeah. Lo and behold, what happened? So, yeah. So Phil Lloyd, next week's fan guest is Phil Lloyd, I believe. So we're looking forward to that. 2-1 to County. Liam Walker, friend of the show, Liam, I think we'll call you because you are my friend. We do see each other every now and again. 2-1. Dan Molt 3-2. Chris Crowther saying yes, he did. Ian Dowden saying 4-0. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We'll test that at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Ian. 3-1. Andy Birchnough 3-1. Barry Horsefall and Tanto 2-2 in the Big Smokes as JK. Nick 10. Oh, it's something else. And then Kieran Rowley. Oh, this is yours. This is your lad.
Yeah, that's me, Bobby. Yeah. I'll kill him later.
It says 2-0. So is he small Rolo? You're big Rolo, he's small Rolo. How about that?
Yeah, he's a lot bigger than me though. He's 6'4". He's 18 now. So yeah, he picked on me a lot, Yeah.
Chris Crowther's going for another draw. He's got
Chris
1-1.
Crowther. So Chris Crowther's going for 1-1 to get your money on 1-1. Real. Luke Ashenden. Luke, he says last minute winner. So there we go. Cool. Yeah, so that's I want your we like to do reactions. This is a reaction podcast. We like to react to things like football matches and events and decisions that are made by club. I want your audible reactions to drawing Forest Green Rovers in the cup. Go. Waggie, you go first. What's your audible reaction to getting Forest Green Rovers in the cup at home?
Easy win. They were absolutely. I know they're a completely different team to what we played last season, but they were absolutely awful. They were such disarray on and off the pitch. Everything was just absolutely ridiculous, wasn't it? It was proper pantomime. I believe it sounds. I can't remember. I've seen a little bit saying that they seem to have signed quite a few. They've changed a lot of the players. They seem to be a lot more settled. I've not watched. Don't know what the results are. Don't know where they are in the league or anything like that. But at our place, I think that's an easy win.
Easy win. Big Rolo, what's your audible reaction? We like to react on this podcast. It's a reaction podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be easy, but I do think we'll win. I think it's. I think we're at home. It's always good to be back at the Fortress, So if you go in there, teams are going to come, and I should imagine they'll probably sit back. I know they're doing quite well. I think they're second, aren't they? So they're getting used to winning again and getting used to winning games of football and getting up. It's a bit like Charlie says it, don't you? It's a habit. Whatnot. So I think they're very, very much in that habit at the minute. So I don't think it'll be easy, but I still think we'll have too much for him on the day.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll rotate quite a bit with that?
Yeah, I do. I think you'll see. I mean, obviously, people like Ryan Rydell are coming back. You may see him playing in that game. Ben may get another start in that game, and I can definitely see a couple of other players coming in as well to do that. So yeah, I think it'll be probably maybe 3, 4, 5 at the most sort of change round, but so I keep a no, definitely not that. I'm going to take 2-0 for the win on that.
Yeah, I think. We'll nearer the time we'll have a preview pod. We'll try and get somebody from Forest Green, as we've failed in the past few years, I think. So yeah, we'll try and do that. We'll go for the predictions then. But yeah, you've got to be looking to win that, especially at home against. We can say it now, can't we? A non-league team.
A couple of people making a good point that we thought Aldershot was going to be an easy game.
Yeah,
and look how
this is true. Yeah, this is true. When we were at the top of the National League as well, we were dumping out League One teams, weren't we? So we've just got to have respect, play, be professional about it. But maybe as fans and as players as well. We've got our job to do, haven't we? So.
Yep.
I must admit, I was kind of hoping that we get someone like Horsham away, and they go, real giant killing on here. We've got the big league team there away from home, and I wanted to get back to that instead of us being the giant killer. So
yeah, absolutely. Just sticking with the FA Cup briefly. Are you wanting a cup run? I mean, we've not had a cup run. It feels like for donkeys. Are you after a cup run?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes, without a doubt. I love the FA Cup. So many memories going back, and unfortunately, the cup, certainly from the higher divisions, it gets treated, and disrespected massively. But it's the oldest and the greatest competition in the World Cup competition in the world. So yeah, I love it. I want a nice Premier League team at home, and then beat them, and a nice Premier League team away, and try and get a result.
Yeah, nice. That sounds like the magic. I think you've just encapsulated the magic of the FA Cup there. Really, really well.
No, I'm not just a pretty face.
Good stuff. Few things around the club then as well, just to briefly mention and talk about. So really good, actually. I think it was last night. EP was lit up in blue and pink for Baby Loss Awareness Week. Don't know if you saw that. So that's massive. I mean, the club don't do much wrong these days, do they? But it's nice that we can do things like that and recognise baby loss, I think, which is really good. And then the other things to mention, goal of the month was obviously club goal of the month was given to Louis Barry. I can't remember which one of his goals it was. Was it the one against Accrington, I think, away?
Yes, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird, really, because Stretton scored a belter, didn't he? Should Stretton have got it, maybe? I don't know. What does everybody think? Did you even see
it? It went out to a vote, didn't it? Did it go out to a vote? Wasn't chosen by the club, was it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The people have spoken. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair dues. We cannot say anything more than that. And then player of the month was Fraser Horsfall, and I don't think you can argue with that. He's been like a bloody Rolls Royce, hasn't he? For weeks. Well, forever.
Yeah,
we need to get
the game.
Yeah. In fact, the only game that he's played, the only shit game he's ever had was when we got beat 4-0 against Tranmere, and he wasn't even playing. So, and we're just going to say he had a shit game because he weren't playing.
Did he not have another shit game against Leyton Orient?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I think it was one or two of them that day.
No, yeah. Well, again, to say I didn't actually listen, but I know there was a lot of people saying that it seemed as if there was 5 or 6 players that all had one of the worst games in a county shirt, all in the same game. By the sounds of it, I think him and Pi both. Not from what I saw, got a lot of grief, but a lot of people said that it was probably the worst performances that those two have certainly had together. So, but apart from that, yeah, he's been absolutely immense, hasn't he? Coming to us. Yeah. So I was quite surprised that he wasn't made captain this year. I think that was certainly my money. My money was on him being captain this year.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, and I think him and Pi together, I think they complement each other so well. And I think what you see is, but they're not, they're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes, but what you've always seen, and what especially with Pi as well, is when they make mistakes, they just come back even stronger. So we need to get a contract for it sorted out quick as well. I suppose he's out of contract.
Is it out in June? Is it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, that'll be exciting for get that done.
Yeah, absolutely, get that sorted. If you're listening, club, if the club is listening, if it's listening, then can you please sort that out? That would be nice. Yeah, happy days. Quick word about England. We've just had an international break, obviously. Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel.
The German lad at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's it. The German lad from Chelsea. Are you happy with that? Not bothered? What think it's a downgrade, upgrade? What are you thinking?
I think he's a completely different manager to what Southgate was. I think he's not. I won't necessarily say he's not media friendly, but he's got his own style, hasn't he? He likes to have a bit of a laugh, but he's also a bit of his dummy comes out, doesn't it? Every so often, he tends to spit his dummy out a bit. So I think that'll be quite interesting when we know we do lose a game or something doesn't quite play out properly. I've got no issue with him being a German. I don't think that makes a blind bit of difference. If we've not got a decent English coach, then we need to get the best. And we sort of did mention it just before the pod started, but I think he's the best that we're going to get because these people that were saying, well, why don't we just wait for Guardiola to come up to finish at City next year, or why didn't we go for Klopp? Guardiola and Klopp are not going to manage England. I don't think they're going to manage any country. Klopp might do Germany, he might, but I can't see they're the sort of the next level managers, aren't they? And you're not going to see them, I don't think, going into like being managers of countries. I just don't see it. So I think he's got an 18-month contract, so he's got to go out there and he's got to win he's got one thing on his mind, isn't it? To win the World Cup. That's exactly what he's there to do. So I think, as you say, it's a totally different proposition going from club management. He's not got day-to-day stuff to worry about. So maybe it might suit him better. It might suit us better. I don't think he's the type of person that is going to have his proper favourites. I don't think anyone's guaranteed a place. I think if someone's not playing well, I think they'll drop him. I think they'll get dropped, and I think he will play the person that he thinks is the best person to play in that position at that time. So I don't see I don't see a problem with it. I think it's 18 months. He's got one job to do, and that's to win us the World Cup.
Yeah, it's quite a narrow sort of scope, a sort of target. Well, he's narrowed down what he's got to do. He hasn't got anything to play around with, has he? It's not like he's got a 3-year contract. Oh, get through this World. You've got this World Cup to play around with. It's like you're 18 months. The remit is to win the World Cup.
Yep.
Lee, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like Waggie said there, I mean, I think the fact that he's a foreign manager, I don't think is a massive issue. I think if you look at the Premier League, the vast majority of managers are not English. He doesn't have to be an English manager. I think with him, you've got someone who's got experience of the top level. He's got experience of Europe. I think there will be England supporters that will take, and rightly or wrongly, whatever it is, will take offence at the fact that he is German. I think that will be something that comes out quite a lot. And I think it'd be very, very easy to sort of scapegoat that sort of fact that, oh, well, it is what it is. And, it's a rivalry and whatnot in football, and England and Germany with that rivalry. But listen, I think he's a good manager. I think I think if we'd had him at the previous tournament, I think he has the nous to go on and take on big teams, where he's not reliant so much on what is arguably not our best trait, which is our defence to sort of defend. He's going to hopefully give people like Foden, Bellingham free license and go, right, just you're off the lead, go, and hopefully make it a bit more entertaining for us because. Southgate did great. I don't think he had that full nous to know how to go and beat the best, and I think this lad will. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, no, that's totally agree with that. Very good point as well. But I mean, for my sort of view on it is not same with you guys. Got no issue with the appointment whatsoever. I'm slightly disappointed and a bit confused really because we've got this St George's Park and we're supposed to be breeding these new coaches. Southgate, I think, was a product of that. So has this like blown that out of the water now? But then if it's an 18-month contract, does it mean that it'll stop after 18 months? It's that program's kind of on a hiatus for 18 months, and then we'll get back to the program and the St George's Park program.
Assistant manager's an English guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Anthony Barry, is it or something?
Yeah, something like that. I've not heard anything about him. Don't know anything about him. So, is this part of that process to get, an English manager alongside him, so that this is the short-term goal? Because maybe we look at. And this is the thing when they're saying about Lee Carsley, they're saying, oh, well, he lost his job on a Thursday night against Greece. But in the press conference, they said that Tuchel signed his contract, agreed to his contract last Tuesday, which was before the Greece game. So they already knew that Tuchel was coming in. So Carsley knew it. So I don't think, I don't think I'd have been disappointed if they'd given it Carsley. But I think that he's almost there. He's won the World Cup with, the Europeans with the under-21s, hasn't he?
It was the World Cup, was it not?
Was it the World Cup? Was it the World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got the potential to do that, and maybe that is the plan. Is 18 months' time is then he comes up into being the England manager, and a lot of them under-21s are going to be potentially in the full squad, and then you've had some of the older ones playing. But again, I think even like the likes of Foden, Bellingham and that, I think they've all played under him. So again, he'll have that. So I think, yeah, he's not quite there. I think he needs a bit more of the media training and stuff, doesn't he? Because I think he shot himself in the foot a few times in his press conferences. He's had certainly after Greece and stuff. So yeah, I think the pipeline is there potentially, but as you say, it's just not quite ready to have somebody come in as an England manager, and that's why again Tuchel's only got an 18-month contract. Yeah,
and I think as well, I think he was almost forced by timings as well, from what I can gather. So I reckon Thomas Tuchel would have gone to United. So I reckon the FA have gone, wow, we need to act fast now. Let's get him in on an 18-month, have that program hiatus with the sort of the conveyor belt, and we'll have our man. Because if you leave it any longer, you ain't getting Thomas Tuchel. I feel like I'm Paul Merson here.
Just call him Thomas. I know you'll like that.
No, I'm not calling him Thomas because I don't know him. Tuchel.
Tommy, fine.
Yeah, call him Tommy.
Tommy, yeah. Anyway, yes. So that's the England sort of bit that we'll cover, and we'll talk about it again in November, I'm sure, because obviously Lee Carsley's still there, I think, for the next camp.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about in November. Okay, quick word on the Betty Bet game. So thanks to everybody that joined that we had 25 people join it. It finished last Saturday. Now, some people might not have noticed this or not got the notification or whatever, but it does carry on even though there's internationals, because I think there was 3 games. Was there 2 games in the League One on Saturday? There was definitely 3. 2. Crewe, Shrewsbury, and a couple of others. Crawley were playing. So that went ahead. So that means that there is a winner, and it was actually the owner, Sam, who joined our game and actually paid.
Fix.
No, say that.
Stuart.
It's not a fix. It's not a fix. But what he's doing, he's going to donate his winnings to Mentel. So he's going to do that. So I'm going to get all that together and send that off to Mentel. So that's pretty good. We will start another Betty Bet game probably after this weekend because we're a bit late. So I'll probably start it on Sunday or Monday for those that want to join. And again, half goes to Mentel, half goes to the winner. So look out for that. Good stuff. Right. Let's move on to Lee Rowley, aka Big Rowley. Fan guest for this week. So glad you come on, mate. First things first, let's go through the questions that we ask all of our debutants to the podcast. First game, if you can remember it.
I can. I remember it really well. It was Blackpool at home. I think it was either 93 or 94. And we won 3-2, I want to say. Toddy scored that day, which is one of the few goals that he did score, and Ian Helliwell scored twice. And as I remember, the Blackpool manager was Big Sam. That's what I remember of that game. So yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, end-to-end game, 3-2. I still remember it, but yeah, I remember going home and checking on teletext, going, "Did that really happen? Just watch that." And yeah, I can't see the result.
Teletext. Was you there for like 4.5 hours waiting for it to go past, waiting for it to scroll?
About 5. Yeah,
Favorite game.
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Because there's so many that I can choose from. I think probably from being younger, I would definitely say winning at City 2-1 when Tony Dean scored that penalty. There was like cups of coffee and pies getting thrown at everyone from the City supporters, and then Dean scores, gives it one of those to Weaver, and yeah, we're just all going mental and absolutely fantastic that game, brilliant. So yeah, definitely that.
Nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah. What about a modern day one? Because there's been loads, haven't there, over the past recent years. Now, fortunate, aren't we?
Yeah, I think probably modern day. I mean, I must admit I did enjoy doing, but was beating a certain Welsh side last season. We're not going to mention their name, obviously, but pulling their pants down 5-0 cheered me up because we had a lot of family that come up who are Wrexham fans, and they came to the pub. everything. So yeah, we nicked the shirt. We had a green shirt that my brother wore, so we took that off him, the lucky shirt, and when it came here a loser and it went back a champion. So yeah, that was a fantastic game, fantastic performance all in all. So yeah, always good.
Yeah, definitely. Your lad Kieran does say, "Come on, Dad, surely Nuneaton." Everybody mentions Nuneaton actually, and it's right, really, isn't it? It's, we can't. It's right to mention it, I think.
I don't remember much about it, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because we had quite a before and after the game. What I do remember was getting lost on the way to the pub, and we ended on like a dual carriageway trying to find this boozer, and cars and tractors flying down. And yeah, I do remember that. We queued about an hour for a pint. It was like, this really wasn't worth it. But I don't remember much other than that, other than waking up, certain parts of my body were covered in paint and things like that. That's all I remember. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good day out. Sounds like
Yeah.
a good day. Favorite goal that you've seen live for County? I need to stipulate that.
There's a goal going back, and when I look at it, it's not even that important of a goal. But I still remember him doing it. It was Sean Connolly against Swindon, when he beat about 4 players and then he curled it into the top corner with his left foot. And I'm sort of
yeah.
Sean, how dare you? And yeah, he just completely took the mick that day. It was that was an incredible goal. That was fantastic. But yeah, there's been so many I could think of though as well. Tanto's goal at Wembley when it went in, that went mental with that one. Notts County, another one that was fantastic. Some goals there. The one from Sars. I felt a bit safer when Sars scored. So, yeah.
Sound, yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I was there for that Sean Connolly one, but yeah, it was with his left foot, wasn't it? I'm sure it's one of the ones. Yeah. He didn't score many, did he? Didn't score many.
No, no, he scored. But we beat Swindon 3-0. I think they were bottom of the league. They were like whipping boys of the league that year. And he beat 3 or 4 players and then just straight into top corner. And I'm just sort of like in amazement, like how's he done that?
Yeah, good stuff. And then favourite player you can have past, present. It's up to you.
There's a few, but the one that sticks out for me is definitely Mr. Stockport County himself, Mike Flynn. Absolutely adored that man. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times. In fact, last time when I first met him, because my lad who's been on the time, he was playing for Reddish North End under James Flood, who used to play for County.
Oh yeah,
and Floody went, "There's Flynny on here. Come over." And all the parents were City fans. I said, "Flynny, come over with me." I said, "We've got all these City fans here." I said, "You're going to tell them that time when you score by your ass." And he just stood there abusing all these City fans. So he just went even further up in my estimation,
Brilliant.
Legend. And if you had 11 Flynnies, you'd win the league every year. You don't have to score many goals, win the league.
just be headers from corners, wouldn't he?
Yeah. He does.
From arse goals.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see him walking down the street, and it's like slow motion whenever I see him. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, there he is, there's my boy, like that. He thinks a bit weird. I mean, there's some restraining order. I don't know. He's a really nice bloke to talk to, and he knows his stuff about football. So I always thought he'd be a manager. I always thought he'd go on and manage. In the end,
yeah, he did coaching for a bit, didn't he? I think he was at Rochdale coaching. He's probably at County coaching as well, if I remember rightly. Yeah, legend. Yeah. I'd like the picture or the flag to be put back up in the Cheadle end of him. I know there's 2 Danny ones either side now, isn't there? In the Cheadle end, there was a Captain Fantastic one. Was it?
That's the one.
It'd be good if that could get put back up. Maybe we'll.
If not, whoever's got it, I'll have it for my front window. It's not a problem, If someone doesn't want to out the window.
Love it. And have you met him? Have you met him before?
Yeah.
Or yeah,
I met him. Well, he was scouting for Rochdale, and at the time, and we were talking, and I have seen him since on Edgeley, just to let on to, and sort of, bow at. But other than that, he's been really nice. I spoke to him. He's just a genuine lad, I should imagine he can probably drink more than me. everything, everything about him's even better than me. That's the way I look at it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get working at Vitality with me.
He's got restraining order.
Yeah, that's a different story. It's something to do with the window, and yeah. Yeah, no, he was my hero. He was my hero.
Superb.
Before we carry on, Phil Lloyd does say, has anyone else noticed that the Uruguay flag is no longer flying in the railway end? Anyone know why? I noticed that against Wigan. We noticed that, but all the I'm going to say this now. All the flagpoles had a flag on them, or did one not? But it's usually there, isn't it?
It is not. It's normally on the. If you look from Cheadle, it's normally on. I'm sure it's normally on the left, isn't it?
Is it right? Okay, maybe that was the one that was empty. Maybe it's come off in the wind or whatever. Anyway, yeah, yeah, cool. So, Lee, County, how did it all start? Why are you a County fan?
Why am I a County fan? Going to that Blackpool game, I fell in love that day. So originally, I shouldn't say this, but I was originally born in Wales when I was a young lad.
Right.
Yeah, hence the fact my brother's a Wrexham fan. Hence the fact my granddad played for Wrexham and things like that. Yeah, but I moved back up to Stockport when I was 7. So I got taken by a friend who said he'd come to the football, and it instantly fell in love. And it was just that game, and it was. I still remember the heart palpitations every time the ball went near the net. It was like kind of like that, and that feeling, and it just grew from there, really. And I've just I've supported them ever since, and I probably get to about a dozen away games. But I used to go up and down the country, and everywhere. It was Stockport County. I've turned down jobs when I was a lot younger to go and watch a game. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. We got beat 5-0 off Sheffield Wednesday. The only Saturday I had to go in for this induction. I went, no, go to the match. So it just kind of grew from there. And like my lad now, he's County through and through. I'll be honest with you, we kind of punished him a bit because we were quite rubbish back then. But we used to bring him when he was like 2, and it was quite difficult because a lot of his friends were City fans and United fans. Same for me growing up. So I just said to him, look, if you're not a County fan, you're out of the family. So just make your decision. So, yeah, I know you all think I'm joking, but I actually really said that to him. That's my excuse. That's his excuse, sorry, for it. But yeah, no, it's always been a big part. And like you said, I think you mentioned before us with the club, they can't do much wrong. I think they're very much in the community and everything about. Everyone says it about their own club and everything, but there's just nowhere like it, And the fans, there's no fans like it anywhere in the world. And I know, actually, everyone says it. Full well when I'm there and I speak to random people I've never met before. I can just talk to them about football and County. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? So who took you then? Was it? I know you said you went with the mate. It wasn't your dad or anything, or
no?
Just your mum. Did your mum and dad just let you go with your mate, and that was that? Or
different times back then. We used to go out in the morning, get pocket money on a Saturday, and go and maybe do a bit of car washing or something, earn some money to go to the games. And I used to go on my own and quite a lot when I was a kid because not a lot of my friends were County fans. So when I was like 9, I was going on my own, and then I'd come back. In fact, I've probably been a little bit older than that as well. But remember the football pink? Remember that? Yeah. I used to stand at the shop waiting for the football pink to come out so I could then read the report about the game I just watched. Honestly, it was. Even now, like people say, "Stop talking about County." It's like, no, I'm going to talk about it. It's everything that I do is it's a big part of life for us, Like Saturday, we're not going Saturday. I'll have 5 lads around here, and the house will be dead silent when the football's on until I start then shouting at the referee at the TV, and because obviously, so we do that a lot, and it's all real. I'm very superstitious as well with it, so there's little things that we do. I'll have to have the lucky underpants on. These pair of white boxes that I've got, and I'm really bad for it, honestly. Me and my wife, we've had rows before now when she's like, she's not washed them. I'm like, why have you not washed me duds? It's like, Friday night, you better sort it out. I'm not joking. I'm really bad for it. And then on a Saturday, and I'm sick of doing it because I don't even like the stuff. We now got to have a shot of Southern Comfort before the game. It's like a look thing. So
I don't mind. I can get on board with that. I don't like Southern Comfort, but I can get on board with it.
Yeah, well, every week it's like, oh, this shot again. It's like, I was out last night. It's like, I don't even want beer. So I've had a few pints, wash that down. But really superstitious when it comes to County. I mean, County don't win leagues because of Dave Challoner. They don't win it because of Mark Stock, because of the players. It's my lucky underwear that does it. So I'm very adamant about that.
You've just given us the podcast title there, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on a semi-serious note, though, we've got something in common. So my dad never took me to County. So, but I've took my son, so I can hand my scarf down to my son, and you can do the same, can't you? So, and you have, obviously, yeah.
And that and premature hair loss, so he's getting it all from me, the lucky son. So,
yeah, well, could be worse, couldn't it, Waggie? You wear it well, though, mate. You wear it really, really well.
You do.
That's why I've gone the other way, so I've got an upside down head.
I'm looking. I'm thinking Paddy Madden. That's all I keep thinking since I've Paddy Madden.
Not a bad
Hero.
look. Not a bad look.
I'll take that.
Great
Good
player.
stuff. And tell us about the cardboard cutout. So I remember first meeting you in person. I probably spoke to you online before, but in person, Yeovil away when we got beat 2-1. Yep. Polite scored our consolation. Walking out, and you're there carrying a cardboard chally. So go on, explain all that to us. Right.
So the original cutout, it came in January, and not to sound too sort of like morbid here or anything. The reason I actually got it was to cheer my lad up. At the time, my mum was she was terminally ill. She passed away now. She was terminally ill, and I just after Christmas, we'd known it was like last Christmas. My son was very, very down. I thought I need to do something to cheer him up. What can I do? Just do something daft. So I thought, you know what, we're going to get a 6-foot cardboard cutout. We'll take it to the pub with us. We'll sit it down. We'll have a bite at a pint and just pretend like we're having a chat about football.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it. And then everyone that because it's a conversation piece. So everywhere we went, people wanted to talk to us about it. So, and people wanted pictures with it, wanted to kiss it. Some people wanted to do some other things. But that's a different story, another restraining order. But yeah, there was different things with it, and it was really popular. And we'd said, because there was 3 of us that go. So there's me, my son, and my friend Lavi. And he ended up having, I don't know if you've seen the video where it took a bit of a beating with the weather. So he had to do, he did a
restoration job. I saw it. Yeah.
I remember seeing
it all and everything.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so we got it there, and I'd spoken to Charlie and to Kate about it, and they kindly gave us some bits to auction with it as well, and we auctioned it off at the end of the season. A gentleman called Chris Webb bought it, got £1,000 for it straight to St Anne's Hospice, which is where we passed away. So, but everyone kept saying to me, look, you should be charging people to have a picture with it. And I said, not doing that. I said, it's a charity. So what we've done with this one is we've now got a QR code and a text number where you don't have to do it if you want a picture with it, if you want to kiss it, whatever, but if you can, text it. And so far we've got over £200 raised for him, so really, really pleased about that.
Nice. And that's the Tanto one, isn't it, you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. And he keeps telling me, well, we had a chat with him about it, and I said, listen, when you score, I said, what it says, I said, you need to do the tangoed celebration, when you've been tantoed like that, like the advert used to. So we're going to see if he does it. So we'll have to see. But yeah, no, it's, the other one we had, we met so many people as well. I remember coming back from Eastleigh, and we met a lad, he was from Chile, of all places, living in Coventry, studying. He ended up coming to a game. He ended up coming to a county game. He supports Universal Club de Chile at the time, but he'd come all the way from Coventry for a match. And I wasn't there. My mum at the time was in St Anne's, and it was the Torquay game. When Madden scored, we won 1-0. The Wednesday, I got a call saying a couple of days, so I'd gone in, and so he had my ticket, and he ended up sending over like some Chilean wine, and I know that Lavi still speaks to him, so he's doing well. But, Yeah, you meet loads of people. I mean, we've had this one out. We had it in Barnsley, it was brilliant. We had it in the pub. We ended up, people were making donations that were in county fans. And, you know, we ended up, one of their ex-players was in, what's his name? Dudgeon, he was in. And, you know, we were just having a chat with random people about football. So it's a real conversation piece. It's a real conversation piece when you're out and about. So, yeah, it's going to work with me next time I go into the office as well. So we'll hopefully get a few more. I found a very aggressive approach of, listen, get your phone out, just do this, tends to work a bit better than, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
probably does. Yeah. We now know what you look like, so we'll be like edging around the other side of the courtyard when we see you coming.
Like that, really. He's here. You're not the only one that does that, you know. Yeah, unrelated story as well, but you're not the only one that does that. Yeah, but no, it's usually in our ladies. But what we've said is we've said we're going to, because we went into the Old Vic last Saturday after the game. Not last Saturday, Saturday before the Wigan game. We went in there. So Lavy reckons we'd have a wander around Edgeley with it because not everyone goes in our ladies. So, but it does tend to
shout, yeah, take on a bit of a tour like the trophy did. Maybe not nearly 200 pubs, but you know, maybe around Edgeley on match days and things. Yeah.
Well, it's an idea. I mean, it's got all the things that I like: football, pubs. You know, raising a bit of money.
Cool.
Yeah. It's got it all. I think maybe we can all go together, all three of us. We can do like a tour on it. You know what I mean?
4 of us. Got to bring Tanto.
Well, yeah. I mean, I must admit, the one thing that happens quite a lot is we get the same old question quite a lot: is, has he got a ticket? Has he got a ticket? Has he got a ticket? And it's like, well, yeah, he has actually. He's got the daughter's seat ticket. He's not here today. So, although I will say this, and I don't like bad mouthing, but Barnsley wouldn't let him in. They refused.
I was going to ask about getting him in. What happens? Because it's obviously I guess it's a fire risk, isn't it? That's the first obvious thing to say. Is it a fire risk?
I mean, County have never had an issue with it. No other ground we've ever been to have ever had an issue. We've had questions about it and like, what's this? It's like, listen, it's for charity. Come and get your picture with it. Get us in. But, no harm. But because it's cardboard, obviously, they sell cardboard in the ground in terms of the burgers. So what the Barnsley experience, which wasn't pleasant, to be honest. What we're looking at now is we're looking at some stuff. It's like Lavy's been looking up some spray that we can put on it that actually makes everything fire retardant, so we can get it certified to do it. So he's in the process of sorting that out. So,
nice.
Come back. I do apologise. You've got people coming through. I'm really sorry about that. That's the wife.
Hazard of the job. That is. Good stuff. Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. And just one final thing on that. St Anne's Hospice, close to my heart. I did my Land's End to John O'Groat cycle for St Anne's Hospice because of family things. And really close to my heart as well. So that's good.
Yeah, I'll just say they're brilliant. This money is actually going towards the new build because if any of you I say misfortune, but it needs renovating. It costs a lot to do it, but it's a fantastic place. And like you said, Rick, Ross, he looks after me, my family, my mum, and I couldn't speak highly enough for that place. So if I see any of you, I will be minding you for money.
Yeah, absolutely, and we will be giving it. You need a little card reader, but there we go. I don't know if you've got a card reader.
well, get back to you. That they've got an event at the park, and they have a thing that they come round. And I said, well, that week we're at home. I said, get that card reader out. I said, and I'll just go around. Even people out know it, just put it to the back pocket. Donate.
Just go past everybody.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Nobody will notice £2 going out of their account.
Exactly. Who does? Who checks and goes, hang on, there's £1, gone. No, you don't. Honestly, people could rob me blind. I wouldn't have a clue.
Russ, we're getting one of them card readers.
I know. Right. Let's move on. Few things to discuss before we get into getting reses. So, Football Content Awards. We are in the final of the Football Content Awards. The voting's closed now. If you voted for us, thank you very, very much. Will we win? We don't know, but we're in the final, so I guess we've got a chance. There's loads of big podcasts in there, though. We're up against the two that are massive that we're up against are Under the Cosh and not the top 20.
Top 20 pod, yeah.
Yeah, they're just huge. So we'll see. We'll see if we get anywhere near that. We've also made the final of the Northwest Football Awards. That's going to be in the same week as the Football Content Awards, actually. So we're going to go to that, see if we can win that third time lucky.
Third time lucky.
Well, the
Hopefully.
field has increased, Waggie. The field's increased. Have you seen it?
Yeah, well, we're the only ones that have been there 3 times.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it feels like it's an excuse not to let us win again. Oh, but there was more this time. And then next year it'll be another excuse. I don't know. I don't know. I'm only joking. But
what did Danny say? We got a small house, but a bloody big heart. So yeah,
this is true. This is true.
And you've got me on board now. I'm a born winner.
Yeah. Very well. That's true. Yeah. Weren't you there last week? You were there last year. Anyway, just brush over that.
No, I was last minute. Remember, I was a last minute replacement.
Oh yeah, you were, weren't you? Anyway,
yeah,
okay. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway.
We are in contact with a number of former and current players, trying to line up them to get them on a pod. So do watch this space. I won't announce anything until we've got them like in stone and we've got dates for it and things like that. But rest assured, we're making lots of contacts and we've got loads of people that have said yes and things like that. It's just arranging dates and we'll get through those as best we can. And I wanted to say as well, we've had loads of nice messages this week from listeners, both here, but mainly abroad as well, just saying how much they like the show and it brings them closer because they're exiles and things like that. So every time I get a message like that, I share it with the lads and it's just really heartwarming. Makes it all worthwhile. It's what?
Is that because I've been off a month?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
You won't get any this week.
I know.
Yeah, welcome back, Waggie. It's been brilliant without you. Cheers.
And just before we get into getting ready, actually, got to mention that the Stockport County ladies are in the County Super Cup final at Chester City versus FC United next Wednesday. The other thing to mention there is that there is a bit of an announcement coming on the 7th of November. So look out for that regarding this podcast and the Stockport County ladies. So what could it be? What could it be? I think everyone knows what it is.
They're doing really well again, aren't they, at the minute as well? They're doing fantastically well, actually.
Yes, they are. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and it's only right that they get more exposure. So maybe that's what this announcement is about, but who knows? Who knows? Stay peeled, and when we do it, we'll have we'll have instant reaction to it and live reaction because we're a reaction podcast. It's a reaction podcast, isn't it? We react to stuff. Right, shall we do getting reses?
Yes.
Yes, let's do getting reses. Yes.
Getting the reses.
Come on, getting reses.
Getting
Come on,
reses.
getting reses.
That's rubbish. Getting reses.
I'm not having that. Getting reses.
I have to put the little map on because not many people know where the reses are, believe it or not. It's weird, isn't it?
Really?
I mean, I grew up near it, so it's eminently obvious to me. Anyway, who wants to go first? I mean, we've all got one. You're our guest, Lee. Do you want to go first with your getting reses?
Getting reses, and it doesn't have to be football related, does it? Just so we're very clear on that.
Well, it helps if it is really, but I mean, if it isn't football related, it's just a rant. So have a rant if you want. I mean, it's entirely up to you.
Have a rant. Okay, It's got to go in the reses because it interrupts the football, and I get interrupted when I'm watching football. Is reality TV? Please put reality TV in the reses. That's X Factor strictly. The worst one of them all, The Jungle. Who wants to watch somebody eat a spider? How is that entertaining? My God, get that in the reses. Get that. Tie it down with a big brick and put it in the reses, please. The wife, that's on in a bit. Well, it doesn't matter if that's on. The football's on. We're watching the football. The footy's on. This is live. It's got to be on. Well, can't you record the football? No, I can't. Can't you record that instead? Why would I record the football? It's going to come through with all the things on my phone to say the score. It's not the same. Reality TV, get it in there. Get that and VAR, get it in there. I never want to see it again.
I purposefully won't watch any reality TV with Am next to her because I just start commenting on it and he just starts winding up. I'm like, the fuck's he doing? Why is he saying that? He's just being a prick. Looking at my bed. What they get them two off? What they did? And she's like, shut up. Shut up. Right, I'm recording it. Let's put something else on, Mark. Bingo.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kente, I'm taking that away with me. I'm going to try that and see if it works, because honestly, I mean, you're watching people who aren't professional dancers do dancing on was it Strictly Come Dancing or whatever, watching ballroom dancing. And listen, there's a time and place for that, and if people want to go and watch that and that's their thing, that's fine. But don't poison the TV when the football's on.
Poison the TV, I like that one.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, then it's reality TV getting in the way of football.
Oh, definitely, yes, right. and me getting it in the air. Right?
Oh,
because it's coming on. You have to right. Got you. Yeah, okay.
Sounds like there's a little guilty pleasure coming out here, Russ.
No,
it's reality TV guilty pleasure. Go on.
No, it's not. Well, no, it's not a guilty pleasure because I don't feel guilty when I watch it. It's Strictly Come Dancing. I like Strictly. My son was a competition ballroom and Latin dancer, so I got to know it that way, and you understand the steps and stuff. And me and my wife, we go to dancing. We go to ballroom and dancing, Latin dancing classes. So I'm happy with that. All the other stuff, though, all the other Married at First Sight, Big Brother, and all that, everything else can just all that. I've never seen an episode in my life of any of that shit. So,
well, where I used to work, I used to work for a company, and they did a particular product, and they used to get it endorsed by these celebrities who were celebrities for being celebrities. And they used to come in the office, and we had them all in there. We had the Geordie Shore lot. We had what's her name? Kate Price came in. I ended up having a row with her doorman because I thought it was one of our people that are coming to view the thing. I didn't know he was a doorman. So yeah, I've had a bad experience of him when I'm trying to work in there. Down the air road. Do you want a picture? No, I don't. I signed.
Imagine being that self-unaware that you ask somebody if they want a picture of you. I think I've got it right, haven't I? Imagine that. Good one. No, yeah, good. I like it. So it was football related. So I think we're having that. Waggie, go on, your turn, mate.
My turn. Right.
Waggie's rants. I'm going
to do
it.
Well, it's sport related. It's not football related, but it absolutely wound me up that I had to walk away. So while I was offshore, so they do generally have a lot of the pay-per-view events on and things like that. So they do, and it's not really my bag. UFC. I'll watch it if it's on because it was free instead of 65 quid or whatever it is nowadays. So watching that, so you've got two big blokes who were absolutely knocking the seven bells of shit out of each other for 5 minutes and then stopping to breathe for 30 seconds and then doing it again and absolutely bouncing each other, kicking, there was blood everywhere. And then they go and listen to one of the corners and the trainer goes, "You better up your fucking game." And instantly the commentator comes on and says, "I'd like to apologise if you heard any offensive language then." And they put a banner up across the bottom of the screen saying, "Apologies for any offensive language." I'm watching two guys knock seven bells of shit out of each other. Why the fuck is someone saying "fuck off" gonna bother me? Realistically, why is it gonna bother me? It's not as if it's the Barbie movie, is it? You know what I mean? Two guys that are absolutely belting each other, blood everywhere, but you're not allowed to say fucking. So that can get in the reses. Having to apologise for swearing. I understand that there's a time and a place for it, that if you hear it on daytime TV in a Barbie movie or something along them lines, then yes. But not in the middle of a UFC fight.
No.
That's just stupid. There's absolutely no need whatsoever.
I feel like we need to get that
little
reses. No, it can. But I think we need to get that little meme out. It's Sean Dyche, isn't it, with utter wokeness or something?
Utter wokeness.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need that meme, don't we?
Yeah. So that really, Yeah, it just absolutely annoyed me, and I got up and just went and played pool for a bit because it just annoyed me that much.
Nice.
So yeah,
There's something about that sport I can't take to it. I think it's kicking and hitting people when they're on the deck. I can't take to it. I prefer the old boxing. But I think you're right. I don't think anyone in boxing would ever apologise.
No.
They still they apologise in the boxing matches though. They do apologise for when they go to the corner and you hear the corner, basically saying up your fucking game or get your fucking jab in or whatever. And then instantly they apologise. Yeah, these guys are there. It's okay to watch them with their eyes split and blood everywhere, but you can't use the F word. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's mad.
So I'll breathe. I'll breathe now. I'll breathe.
You have a bit of a relax while I do mine. Okay. I've actually got 3 this week, but I'm only going to say one of them. I'm just trying to work out which is my most getting the reservoir as. And I think it's going to be this one. They annoyed me when we played them back in the day. FC United. So this is my getting the res. This is very niche, I think. They are creating friendly European competitions and trophies to win trophies just so they can go away and play in a fake European competition with this reenactment society so they can try and win a European trophy. And it's almost like, well, United are never going to win one. Well, I know they've won the UEFA Cup, haven't they, or whatever, but it's all Mickey Mouse to them. It's almost like, oh, well, our proper team that we support aren't very good, so we're going to create this imaginary European trophy for non-league teams, and we're going to go and play that. And if we win, then we're going to win a trophy. And I just think it's a reenactment of a reenactment, innit? It's almost like Inception. You're doubling down on just being dicks, basically. So anyway, that was mine. I saw that the other day and thought that I can get in the res as that.
Yeah, I think that's a definite.
Definitely. I've not heard that before, but that is absolutely ridiculous. It's just pointless. And they say it's not as if surely they're going to lose money doing it because they've got all the travel and the expenses of going over there and stuff. It's not as if they are Man United, are they? They're not got exactly, £600 million revenue coming in.
No.
It always makes me laugh with them because they act like it's the first ones to ever do this. We've got the Phoenix Club. We've got this. It's like clubs that have to do it. You chose to abandon your team. Different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my getting reses. So I think, good. A good getting the reses sesh. That
Phil Lloyd is correct.
To the vote.
Yeah, sorry. Phil Lloyd is correct. It was after the watershed as well.
All right. Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout, that Lee. We should put them to the vote. Which of the 3 should get in the reses? Is it
all 3? We vote individually for each individual reses.
Just a bit of fun. Which of our 3 would you want to get in the reses? Put it in the comment below. There you go. That's what YouTubers say, don't they? People on the YouTube.
I vote for Waggie.
Fair dues. Just very quickly, then, I'm going to say I'll have more getting the reses next week. My other 2 were, and I'm not going to go into these deeply. Wrexham fans are already complaining about the away allocation. They've got 844 tickets, I think it is. And what is this thing as well about camps? Not the lad that plays for us, but England. Oh, I'm in charge of 3 camps now, and Carsley will end after 3 camps. It's a camp now. I know you joined the camp. There is an England camp, but I didn't think we were doing
the all stay in tents instead of a fancy hotel.
Yeah. Even our caravan.
Yeah, they're saving money. Yeah. This is money saving. They're actually in tents.
Yeah,
you can see him now in the social club, can't you? We've got a shite entertainer on in there, and everyone's sat there having a pint. It's great. This didn't want to go abroad.
They're all squashed into bunk beds in a caravan.
Just to say though, as well, Waggie, yours is getting the votes. So I think it was more in the delivery rather than what it was. But yeah, that's part of the game. It's part of the game, mate. It's part of the game. Good stuff.
I voted for you, Waggie. I was there every day. So.
I like it. Right, let's wrap up because we're way over time. Lee, thank you very much for coming on. This isn't going to be the last time you join us, is it? Because you are going to be on the Courtyard Club Call on Monday.
Yes, I am. I've got a thing, so that should be interesting. I will record myself watching the match if you could do with some good laughs. That's usually something.
Have we got a bleep machine? We got a bleep machine.
No, I don't.
Can we apologise? Every time we swear, somebody else will apologise for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it all depends. You know, depends if it goes to the reses or not, doesn't it? But there'll still be a few of that. It's usually the referee that gets it as well. So, great stuff.
Yeah. The Courtyard Club Call is before the watershed, and it's a bit more demure. Is that the right word? I don't even know if I said that right. But anyway, yeah, it's a bit more, a bit nicer. So don't be effing and jeffing and talking about superstitious underpants and stuff. It's more.
They actually talk football instead of waggy rants. Is that what?
Yeah, they do. They talk football, which is what we like.
That's quite a shame, is it?
Right, I'm going to wrap it up. Cheers, Lee. Really appreciate it. Waggie, good to have you back, mate. Really is good to have you back.
Thank you for being back. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that I can actually watch a game of football properly.
Excellent.
No, listen, I appreciate that. Letting me on. It's been fantastic. I've been married for ages, so thank you for that, for letting me on. I'll hopefully get a chance to come back again sometime.
Oh, you will.
Yep.
You'll regret it now. You'll regret it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll actually have the lucky underpants for me next time. How about that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I won't on them. I'll just have them. That's for a later show.
That's a late night pod.
Pay-per-view.
After dark. Pay-per-view, yeah. Everyone gets the first 10 minutes, then the screen goes black. Anyway, let's stop it there. Childhood memories. Well, teen memories.
Just one thing.
Right.
And we got only football fans. There you go. You know what I mean? You've seen only fans, only football fans. That could be the news.
Only football fans. Right, going to close it. Cheers, everybody. Speak to you later. See you next week on the Wednesday show. And the Courtyard Club Call is available on Monday at 6 a.m. See you later.
See you later, boys.
For this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!